review. All right. So shout out to everybody watching. We're reading the book Emyth Enterprise, chapter 4, the first category of preference, the visual ideal. Okay. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. All right. So this book is really powerful in launching any brand, because what it does is it really expresses um, a lot about how do you create a brand that creates an emotion, creates like a relationship between everybody that engages with the brand, right? And it flip it tells you something about, like, you see the okay, you know, there are Chick-fil-A fans to the max. There are Starbucks fans to the death. Like Starbucks or like Apple fans, fanatics. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there's no, I'm not judging anybody about it. I'm just saying there are fans to brands. Why? Because it's like, I know when I see this brand, I know what I'm gonna get. I know how it's gonna be like to be in the room. So I know, listen, I know it's gonna be like to be in the room. So now being in the room nowadays does not just mean you're in a store. It does not just mean you're in an actual room. Okay, we're in a room, but I'm at home. You at home. You know what I'm saying? You see, like the 1, 2, 3, 4 cats. They in the room with me. You know, they got the trees here, out here in the backyard. So, we in the room. So like being in the room looks many different ways. Looks like in many different ways. So now it's the energy that that room has. So now as we read this, we're not gonna read it. We do summary of it. So we're really not reading it. We're going through just really a few key points, the 6 components of the visual idea. But I want you to think of the energy when you walk to a certain store versus another. What is the energy? Certain stores you don't want to get in there. You're like, I do not want to go in this ghetto space. Sometimes the space looks like you go to a Jamaican restaurant and it's like, oh, it looks kind of like Aki, but the energy is just so high that you don't even see the mess. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding though. Like I've had some of those restaurants, but then you go to another restaurant and it looks clean, but the energy is not the same. So energy, the visual in this book talks about really how it looks is going to be appealing or not. And trust me, you need to clear it up. You need to make sure it looks a certain way. But I'm saying it goes deeper than how it looks. It's how it feels. You see what I'm saying? So I go to this Jamaican restaurant and it's like stuff all over there. I'm like, yo, okay, it's cool. But the guy's like, yo, what's up, brother? What you eating today, man? I'm like, oh, I want, can you help? What's the best thing, man? I'm trying to. He's like, man, I got the right thing for you. I got the vegan curry fish. I'm like, what? Vegan curry fish? I'm like, let me get some of that. Because I'm like, man, they got the juice. It's the hookup. So it's a certain energy. But they could have, organized the space a little bit more. But so there are 6 components of the visual ideal, and we're just gonna get right to it. Color. All right. Color is the first thing people see and is therefore a critical component of the visual matrix. What colors will best communicate the purpose of the business? Is the business playful? Is it serious? Is it upbeat? Is it formal? Is the business intended to touch the hearts of people? Just their minds, or both their hearts and minds? When I say playful, do certain colors come to mind? When I say somber, do you see dark colors it evokes? When I say upbeat, can you visualize what those colors might be? Can you hear the sounds such colors make? Can you hear the sounds such colors make? It sounds like Shakespeare. Hey, can you hear the sound such colors make? But we're not gonna give Shakespeare the credit. We all got the Shakespeare in us. I still give him credit. Okay, that's just okay. Let's just forget Shakespeare. We are beings, sentient beings who create. Shout out to Michael Gerber. That's his name, not Shakespeare. But anyways, so your colors. So now y'all see my colors are very strategic. Maybe you don't notice it, but once you start, just look and you'll see. Okay, I want you to start looking more than like people say stuff, but they also do stuff. Is the doing is better than the saying. Because I can say a lot of stuff, but when I don't do it, then I'm out of integrity. I really don't like that. That my major word this year is integrity, right? So it makes me feel bad when I don't do what I say I'm going to do. That's being in one with what I said. If I say I'm going to do that, I want to do it. So that's something every day I'm like, yo, be good at that, and that's why I'm getting better. So that's what you want to do with everything. So I find out you don't want to put first too much on your plate so you can be able to get enough things. Don't be a yes man is what I realized. When you're always yes, that's really what happens. You had good intentions, great intentions. You put too much and now you broke your back. Need the camel. You know what I'm saying? Stop being the camel. So you just got to learn how to organize your energies. But we're still talking about color here. I don't know how I got to that. But sidetrack a little bit. Somebody near that word. If you needed that word, say word, put word in the chat. All right. But color. So I have this aquamarine color, and somebody almost had a revelation and says, I think your brand. I'm in college 4 years ago. And this girl that I went to high school with, and she said, like, I had a dream. I don't know, somehow she just came out of nowhere. He said, hey, I think your color should be aquamarine and emerald gold. I'm like, aquamarine and emerald gold. I'm like, that sounds really good. It was black and orange. You know what I'm saying? Maybe black and orange was evoking like a different energy. And it's like God sent me. It's God sent to me. People don't. I believe that certain stuff don't happen ironically or like it happens. And guess what? Aquamarine is about like peace and tranquility. Wow. And then when I researched that, I was like, "Ooh, emerald gold." Like, think about that. Wisdom, knowledge, peace and tranquility, wisdom and knowledge. That sounds like my brand. You get what I'm saying? So colors don't just impact how it looks and whether it's pretty or not, but it impacts the energy behind your brand. Certain colors put you in certain moods. So now, lately, I haven't been wearing too much black. Well, during wintertime, I wear black, I wear white, right? For different reasons. I wear different colors in different seasons, if you don't notice. But I like to wear a lot of green, right? And the color for the rising prime is like a little lime green, right? And what does the green have to do? What does green have to do with it? What's love got to do? Got to do with it. So what's green got to do with it is what love got to do with it. You get what I'm saying? It's what life has to do with it. You get what I'm saying? Lord, you want to say something? It's what life has to do with it. So it's the heart chakra, man. So, and it's also about life, new life. It's about nature, being in one with nature. Okay. So rising and priming, getting into your heart, out of your head. You know what I'm saying? So even the colors shift within the app. You're in one section, it's like this green. Then you're another section, it's like this light pale aquamarine. Then you're another section, it's like a different color. And you might wonder, like, why is it a different color? Because those colors are associated with that. Or maybe it's a different hue. Even the topics, I've organized the topics a little bit differently. So I can show you a little bit. Now I want to show you this. And listen, it's really impactful because if you have a community, if you have podcasts, I'm going to show you certain stuff. My Instagram page for the podcast. So brown, what is it? What's the color? Brown. There's brown there. And then I changed, it's always some brown there, but I changed the background on the basis of each season. Colors are so important that you can use colors to tell people about, to track, like, okay, it goes so deep that when it's winter, I have a specific color as the backdrop of my podcast. It's like white, cold, because it's winter. When it's spring, it's like a certain green, because the trees are coming again. When it's fall, it's like brown and a different color. When it's summer, it's a different type of vibrant green, right? Maybe I'm gonna put a little hue of emerald gold in there. Why? And then I keep a consistent format. I just changed the color to go with the season. So now what I'm doing is I'm creating by season and I'm going with the season. So now the color is going with, there's a form that is I'm building. It's a form, it's a culture, and the way that I introduce the seasons, basically what I talk about and what's going on and the evolution, right? It's you're creating it's like you're creating, it's not, oh, I'm just doing stuff. Yeah, like some stuff you might think, oh, he's just posting, so he just posts a lot of stuff. No, sometimes I create entire curriculums in weeks by just showing up and doing this consistently. And then I just have, now I go back, transcribe this stuff, put it in the ebook, books, curriculums. I can reorganize the content. So many different stuff I can do with it. So I can repurpose all of the stuff that I create. But then even with the podcast, when I'm doing a podcast, I'm not just thinking, oh, I'm doing a podcast. Some days I wake up, bam, I'm on point with the podcast and it comes intuitively. I'm not going, but some weeks I say, I start with one subject and I'm like, yeah, this is the perfect follow-up. So now I give you a five-part series. If you really listen to Boom Boom Boom, 5-part series, very beneficial. And I do the podcast not because my life is perfect and everything. I do it because everything in it, I need it and it helps me. Like, yo, that's the beauty. Once you start operating in your gift, you'll be surprised the how creative you get, the form it takes, the energy it creates. It's like, so like, you're like, wow, how did that happen? But guess what? You just trust. Just keep showing up, keep doing your thing, keep creating, keep taking the pictures, right? Keep creating the art, right? You just, and then now you're like, whoa, how did I even make that, yo? Like, dang, how did, like, you want to become a fan of your work. Once you can be a fan of your work, you know you did something you like. You structured something you like. You organized something you like. You created something, like, man, you created an event that you would go to and stay there all day, right? You're like, man, I want to create that. So what form does the business take? From the logo to the style of the dress, to the architecture, to the products. Is it bold, adventurous, sedate, austere, comfortable, or powerful? Does it call for rounded, soft edges or sharp, angular edges? Or are there few edges at all? Yo, this was really deep. And I thought about it. I was like, that's deep. That's deep. You know, because when you do canva.com is how you create your nice designs and you organize them. That's what I do, right? And I have the specific templates that I use over and over and over for different stuff and different seasons. I can go back to that and I don't need to recreate every time. You create something once, then you add on to it over and over. And then you innovate it. You create another thing once, add to it over. Game changer, y'all. So reason why it's a game changer is you're able to now save time. You don't have to go create this thing over and over. You have one flyer, you go boom, boom, boom. But to miss the point, do you want to have round edges? Do you want to have sharper edges in your different flyers? Do you want to have a more like not much, very like simplistic types of design, spacious type of design, or more like typewriter, I don't know, not typewriter. I said the wrong thing. What is that? Cursive, like what do you want to have? Like connect, is there a connection? How does your fonts look like? Right? I've picked different font, like even like whether the font connects together, sans serif or serif, whether it's like a font that's like separated or the distance between the very letters. You're like, yo, why would I use this distance from the very letters for my headers and these, but the other font has a more connection to it, right? Everything I do pertaining to like Rising Prime or Holistic Lifestyle Tribe has like a whole holographic sort of like turns to it because it's like connection, right? It's so deeper. What form does it take? So like even you want to think that deeply with your brand, because that then creates like once you see that, you're like, yo, I remember that from, yo, that's deep. Can you imagine in your mind's eye what form a comfortable business might take? Do you remember the old yellow ranch house with its flock with turnkeys? Okay. I don't really want to read all that. I read that yesterday. But yeah, so the form. So we're gonna go to scale next, because y'all got things to do, places to people to see. Scale. And what of the scale of the business? Is it built for people or is it built to intimidate people? Does it take your breath away or does it make us laugh? Does it say this is going to be one hell of a good time? This is going to be one hell of a good time, as Disneyland says, stretching out, or does it as far as the eye can see? Or does it confine us so we simply want to get out? Is it the scale of a Gothic church or a miniature railroad? Does it confine us that we simply want to get out? Okay. A Gothic church is not built for comfort. A miniature railroad does not convey power. Okay. So basically, you want to think about the environment, how you build it, how you structure it. When you walk in Starbucks, they make it so that you can stay, you can sit, you can work. So the ambiance, right? So what's the ambiance of your brand? You get what I'm saying? So like when you show up to like a Rise of Prime, there's a certain type of music, there's a certain type of energy, there's a certain type of like dry humor that's kind of funny because it's not that funny, you know? So it's a little ambiance. You get what I'm saying? There's a little music, there's the lyrics, there's the heart, lung, liver, spleen, right kidney, left kidney, Jane Chi, heart, lung, liver, spleen, right kidney, left kidney, Jane Chi. There's this little childish energy that I put out sometimes, which feels really good, by the way. It's freeing because I used to be like very like this. Now I'm like free. I feel really good. So it's a great thing, right? So that's the ambiance. So now which people feel when they walk, it's really your energy scaling, right? Do you build it? Is this place built for a lot of people or a certain amount of people? Right? So now you can determine, that's going to determine your model. So now I'm thinking about Rising Prime. I was like, long term, I don't want Rising Prime to have in one meeting like 500 people, because then it's hard for the people to really get to know each other. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'd love to create a brand where I can have different people host Rising Primes. So that way, as collective, we create a huge impact, because now people know Rising Prime, they know this community, and they want to tap in. But when they join, they're not just going to like a big group. They can pick like the different inner tribes, right? To go, led by different healers and practitioners. And then there's also spaces where these people can go to and grow and learn, personally develop. There's retreats they're attached to. There are all these certification programs that collectively different people bring in. So it's like, it's big, right? So this is the vision, right? So now you want to think about this is also comes in when you want to think about, how do I scale my business, right? Do I want to stick to selling online, right? How is like when I deliver the dress to, how does the dress come? Does it come in an old box or does it come with a specific sort of ambiance. You're like, I don't even have a room. If you don't have a room and you sell a product, whether it's your artwork, whether it's your whether it's a dress, whether it's a book, whatever it is, whether it's a journal you made, some of you could create some really nice products out of your talent and gift. The way that your box can be the room, as well as your Instagram. So, but that is, if the person even never saw your Instagram, they just kind of went straight to your website, bought it, never heard from you again. They should be so amazed by the way you packaged it that they're like, I got to follow up with that. I got to scan your barcode on this little nice executive thing you sent me after my photo shoot. You get what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you really got me. You really got me, man. You know, by that, I mean, you really took care of me. I appreciate that. I want to do business with you next time. So those are some extra things I'm actually looking to add on. Like when somebody joins the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe and they become a member, sending them a specific like thing that they can only get by being by being the member. All right. Or maybe I have to say, okay, before you can get the creed or not the whatever I make, not the whatever, maybe like a I don't know, something cool, something like I don't know, like a pocket watch or something. Nah, no pocket watch. I'm kidding, but something really cool, maybe like a compass. You know, somebody says a compass. You know, it'd be really cool to have a compass with a logo in the back, because you know you want to know your way around in the equator, not just with addresses and Google Maps. So something cool. All right, next, order. Order is such a critical component of the visual business that I am continually amazed at how oblivious most businesses seem the price they pay every single day for ignoring it. Order is just what it says. It is all things in their place. It is cleanliness. It is impeccability. It is a deep, abiding sense of control. That there is logic, a sensitivity, a commitment to keeping the jungle out of the clearing. It is a belief in the special quality of human life. It is the meticulous attention paid to the maintenance, to the surface of things, of sustaining the newness, the freshness, the essence of things as we have envisioned them new. Order is preparing the ground before us as though God himself were to visit. Okay, so you want to order the environment of which you are serving what you're serving, right? So I did that with for instance, the Mighty Networks on the tribe, for example. I've been ordering it in such a way where it's organized. You could find stuff all in like now. Let me show you. So I'll show you a little bit. So it's not just rooms. So if you own an actual storefront, your order is going to be based on the basing of when somebody walk in the store, what the first thing they see, right? What's around them? Like what are what's the information, which is going to be the detail, right? Right. So here, look at that. Let me show you a very example of order here. And somebody like, yeah, what is that? So this is topics here. So this is something in the tribe that says topics. And I took it upon myself to brand it with not just colors, different topics you could tap in at any time that you want, right? So now for somebody who's a coach, who does anything like this, who structure and give information, this is very valuable stuff. A lot of people don't see the value because it comes so easily and free. So, but the value is really in some of these things, like branding, the marketing. Some of this stuff is like, if you really took them, like run with them, you see the big result, like just the colors and the fonts, right? So I want you to look at this. So here specifically, if you look at here is first, by just going here, you could learn about the community, history of the tribe, share your holistic journey. Here you could share what you're doing. your progress, your process. You could actually tag this topic, or you could click this topic. Now there's this new section here called the daily bread. Right? Just here, you could go here and click it and tap into that, the daily bread. So now, Ed Talks Daily, color brown. Now this is yellow. This is a specific sort of green. This is another type of teal. Every time this teal comes, it's gonna have a specific R. Every time this comes, you're gonna notice, oh, everything that has to do with me sharing is this color. Okay. So now when it comes to the pillars, the colors are lime green, just like Rising Prime. You see that? Colors. This is how it's, look, we're talking about something that we might think of a store, but then we're talking about organization of here, tools, practices, habits, routines, everything I told you in the beginning. Okay. Remember what I said? And you can actually click here and find these things. Same color as the Rising Prime. Get into holistic lifestyle, concept of the holistic lifestyle. If you look at your life from a holistic lens, not just focusing on one specific part of your life, but in all areas, you're going to be much more happier, healthier, and better. And it's going to help you revolutionize your life. If you adopt certain practices into your life, where you're not simply being stagnant, you're moving, you're exercising, you're doing different stuff, you're dancing, right? You're sunbathing, like you're going to the ocean, whatever, like you're doing different habits. Now, all of these are organized here along with the green color. So now, thank me later. Now, I told you, Qigong has a specific color. Now, this is deep because if I go to the Try Qigong, if I go to Eventbrite, anything, you're going to see the same color. You come here, you see the same color. Okay. Okay, so now all of these colors and these different, look at all this stuff. This is what's available, man. All underneath. So you definitely got to tap in and for instance, click Ed Talks Daily, got all the podcasts. Y'all got to tap into this. You know what I'm saying? Got a resource. So it's not just how you organize, like, and all these things. Somebody says, how did you do all of that? Yo, this is a lot of stuff, bro. I didn't do it all in a day. I did it every day. You get what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. I need to see y'all to talk back to me because we in here together. And I'm actually just showing you something that you probably just seen, but I want you to understand that it's deeper than just content organized. This is value add. And this is something that is going to keep growing. And we're going to make sure that it grows because I'm very passionate about it. I know what I have to share is valuable and it needs to be heard. Okay. So now I showed you the topics and you can click and go by topics. Now here, these are called sections, inner tribes. Now, so this is a showing, and we're reading a book of showing you how I've included color, form, and order in a digital space. So it's not just about your actual physical space. So you go to Rise and Prime. First of all, it's called a specific thing. It's called a gathering, right? You're like, why? Because look, I don't want anybody to feel like this is a class, and it's not. Really, I want y'all to talk a whole lot more. I try to get y'all to talk a lot, but sometimes I just have a lot to say, which is not bad. I just have stuff to say, which is valuable. So it's a gathering because it's not just about me coming here. It's about us moving together, breathing together, affirming together, like bringing different stuff to the table, right? And that's why I really want to bring more people to do different classes. But when you walk in here, look what you see. It's a specific color. It's green, right? All the things are here. Now look, let's click the last one, the last Rising Prime we did. All right. So now here, definitely see Sela there. Now, now here, look, you're gonna see 4 pillars. This is also shows you order. How you created these things once and you use them over and over. Okay, for whatever you're creating. Now this is really deep. I'm literally showing y'all the blue. I'm showing y'all a major blueprint right now. I just really want y'all to tap into this. I'm not trying to up it big. I'm just really trying to express to y'all, like, this is like marketing. Like when this gets really big, it's gonna really stick because it's just like I put in the details. Rising Prime, sun rising behind you. This is what this is. And this is an actual video that I used to play in the beginning of each Rising Prime with the sound. The logo's right there, but then I didn't create this every day. I just now added the picture. I didn't normally add pictures there. I just had this logo right here. So now I want you to check 4 pillars. Once you had signed up for this on Eventbrite, okay? Once you signed up for this on Eventbrite, you would have seen the same 4 pillars, okay? And you see that everywhere you go. And you see that on the Instagram. You see that on, and you go to risingprime.co, okay? And when you come to the space, even though it's a digital space, you're not thinking you're coming just to a Zoom. You're not telling your friend, I'm going to a Zoom meeting. I'm going to Rise, I'm doing Rising Prime. So how much time did that come in your mind? Oh, I'm going, oh, okay, this Rising Prime today. This, because this Rising Prime, it's a space, it's an energy, okay? So this book is not just talking about your room, your space, your physical store. It's talking about your design of your website, how you put the dresses, the ambiance of your, how you showcase the dress, the ambiance of how you showcase the art, the ambiance of the aura of how you speak your truth. So now here, look, start your day with a holistic rising routine. On here, Rising Prime, same pillars, okay? Same exact pillars are right here. So you're like, okay, that's cool. Powerful rising affirmations. In fact, I need to change that right here. And now I've been putting supporting podcasts. So now you can actually tap into the podcast. And I've been giving some extra stuff. So I've been doing some extra work in there. I even made a list of all the affirmations for each week. So now this is one. This is Rising Prime. Rising Prime is its own space within a space. The Holistic Lifestyle Tribe is the community. The space is Rising Prime. That's a meeting. It's a gathering. And then it's called journeys. Everything, the way that I organize them are strategic and specific. So now look, Qigong classes, because all of these are journeys of getting a specific skill set. So I told you, same color. See that? And it has its own different logo. So your brands can be sectioned out into different ways. Now you go back, you get all the Qigong classes. So now back. And then of course there's the detox, there's the book club, right? So repurposing content. So now all of this, now you have them organized. So now let me show you something. You go to edtalksdaily.com. Okay, so okay, I'll leave that for now. So here's what I'm sharing. So now this is a specific font, and I post this font. I post that font everywhere. It's not, you don't just see this font here, you see it everywhere. Okay, you've seen this at the end of major videos that I've done, all the reels. You see it. You go to the website, you see it. You see the same color. Same font, just a little clean. Don't go steal my font now. You're like, I like that font, Ed. Now you can use it. You can you be like Ed. Uh, uh, I'm kidding. I'm just a little jokey joke, okay? Like Martin would say. But you have to strategize your brand based on how you structure it, order, form. Very cool stuff. And here's, you see, I was talking about the winter. And if you go scroll down, some of those are not in that same edit, which also lets me know when and what season it was posted in. September. Okay. So your brand and content strategic. All right. Detail. Once people have walked in the door, they have to pay close attention to detail. Then they begin to notice the shining copper rivets exactly placed 2 inches apart on the aluminum waste baskets, the specially designed pin with the company's logo shirts and aprons of every employee. Okay. So I said that everything I just showed you all of some of the major details that's like right in front of you. Okay. And then the information, every business must find a visual way to transmit information to its customers, its employees, its suppliers, and its lender. Okay. So it's how you provide the information. So here it's educating on different subjects. Okay. Educating on different stuff. This is how the information is presented. They call this information-based selling. Okay. When you are able to share information and you get people who like the information that you share to be able to purchase or buy what you have to offer. Okay. So that is like a review of chapter 4, the category of preference. Now, definitely go back in the app and read it or listen to it. I had read it. So that was pretty, I kind of showed you what it is. Designing the enterprise to take away points. Thank y'all for tapping in. The visual ideal is vital to every business in every industry. The conception, creation, and maintenance of the visual impression of a business is critical to its success. The problem seems to be that the vast majority of businesses in this country, small or large, simply don't get it, or what's worse, simply don't care. Walk or drive down just about any commercial street or walk inside just about any business you choose, and you immediately be accustomed to the visual symptoms of our entrepreneurial malaise. I believe it could be proven that a visually deteriorating business is the act of an emotionally deteriorating mind, of leadership on the verge of failure. The 6 components of visual preference are color, form, scale, order, detail, information. Color is the first thing people see and is therefore a critical component of the visual matrix. Form follows color in the order of importance. What does the business take from the logo to the style of dress to the architecture to the products? Scale is next. Is the business built for people or is it built to intimidate people? Does it take our breath away or does it make us laugh? Does it say, as Disneyland announces the moment you walk through the gates, this is going to be a hell of a good time. Fourth in the visual matrix is order. Order is just what it says. It is all things in their place. It is cleanliness. It is impeccability. It is a deep, abiding sense of control. It is the meticulous attention paid to the maintenance, to the surface of things, of sustaining the newness, the freshness, the essence of things as we have envisioned them new. Fifth in importance is detail. Detail is the care one puts into all the little things of the business. So as the people look closer, they are surprised by what they find. And sixth is information. Every business must find a visual way to transmit meaningful information to its customers, its employees, its suppliers, and its lenders. The information they each perceive they need in the most visually compelling way possible for a successful enterprise, serving up The visual ideal is not an option, it's a necessity. Chapter 4, the first category of preference, the visual ideal. So, Joe, chapter 4 is really awesome. Listen, if you haven't tapped into this book yet, the Emyth Enterprise, make sure you check it out. Really good. This is how to turn a great idea to thrive in business. We just read chapter 4, so make sure you go tap into chapter 5 because we're gonna read that next. So I done showed y'all like the whole blueprint. What's up, brother? I done showed y'all the whole blueprint on just the colors, the scheme. So you use that with your podcast, your brand, your blog, fonts. We're gonna go deeper into that. We're gonna do a workshop on that. All right. But for now, we're gonna end it there. Now, if you're watching this video in the Holistic Book Club journey, where is the Holistic Book Club? Let me pop it up. I want you to make sure that you either tapped into the reading first or after, because make sure what you do is of your own conclusion, and you don't want to just go by the review. You want to read it your own. So boom, as you can see, this is how it looks. The Emyth Enterprise, you are able to go from each chapter one by one. Here, the first one, if you have not read the book, just go there, get your free copy. Click that right there. Bam, download it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You know it. So now you scroll down, there's a little introduction, and you go to the next one, to the next one. Here's chapter 4. So there, when you click chapter 4, there's a little summary. There's the reading. I read it out. And there's a summary. And then the chapter review is going to be right here. Bam. So you're able to tap into the chapter review. So go ahead and tap into that and any of the other books that you want to do in your own time. The Art of Communication, The Power of Now, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Really, really powerful one. One of these, we had a Rising Prime. Man, that thing was good. We got a lot of content on here. All right, so check out the Holistic Book Club. And thank y'all for everybody watching on YouTube. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Listen, I'm still gonna do some Qigong, but let me get rid of YouTube. Thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure you go and read chapter 5.